Greetings, Unhidden Voices family, and welcome to episode 20. Can you believe that we have made it to 20 episodes? That's an accomplishment, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done thus far. This episode features my cousin, Vicki Cosby Jefferson. Vicki is actually my cousin on my father's side. She is pretty much in my mother's generation. She's about 20 years older than I am. And her father was my Uncle Jimmy. My father was the youngest of the siblings, and her father was the oldest. So there was about a 20-year difference between our parents, our fathers. Um, this episode is a difficult, conversation because Vicki talks about a lot of very difficult experiences that she's had in her life, including her having a sibling with mental illness. Her sister Jeanette, who was her older sister, who has since passed away. Actually, um, most of Vicki's siblings have passed away, and there are a few of them who are still alive. But of the original three sisters that Uncle Jimmy had, Vicki is the only surviving daughter. So, in any way, she talks about that. She talks about losing family members to just in some tragic, difficult ways, including suicide. And so I wanted to prepare folks for listening to this episode. There are resources available, and I will put that information into the description of this episode so that if you or someone that you love is considering or threatening suicide, there's a suicide prevention hotline also for those of us, and there's many of us who have family members with mental health concerns, mental health issues. Currently, also we are experiencing a lot of grief because of all of the things that are happening, and this could also cause folks to be depressed. And so, I just want people to know that there are resources out there, that you're not alone, and that if you are a family member of someone who is mentally ill, you also need support. And so, because it is a very difficult situation to have to be a caregiver of someone who is mentally ill. All right, well, um, that is all I have to say in preparation for listening to this episode. We do talk through it. We have different opinions about what happens after someone passes away. We talk about grief. We talk about a lot of things. And I think I learned a very much from Vicki and talking to Vicki, and I think you will too from listening to our conversation. So, if you like this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and tell and share it with someone else. And please continue to listen, learn, and amplify with us. I'm just nervous that this is gonna. Okay, so
this meeting is being recorded. Really?
Yes, it is.
Really, to tell me launch the thing again. You sucker. You are a whipped gift.
Okay, everybody, this is my cousin, Vicki.
Oh, wait a minute. How is the picture coming out?
It's coming out terrible because it's just the top of your head.
It's the way my computer is made.
I can see your eyes now.
That was a good one. Oh no! We better not say another word. You might get mad. Maybe I ought to sit on the floor.
No, I just think if you up, it'll be fine. Why are you leaning forward?
Why am I leaning forward?
Yeah, there you go. I can see you now.
You can? Well, I had to move the computer a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. And see, now I can't see you. Come on, Zoomy. Now he wants to tell me what his name is, like I care. Zoom. Hello. How are you? Yes.
Oh my word.
Wait
Okay, listen. I'm just
a minute.
we have been
Keep
trying to do
talking,
this.
and maybe he'll decide to come on. How's
Yes,
that?
exactly. Because we've been trying to do this for months. So we're just gonna roll with the punches.
Month is not the word. No, 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 no. It's not that.
Okay, so let me just tell for our audience. Vicki is my cousin, but on my dad's side. And you are a daughter of my uncle Jimmy, who is my dad's oldest brother, right?
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
So why don't we talk? Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Oh my goodness. What did you tell when there's so much to tell and all of it's no good? No, it's not all bad, you know. But I was, if anybody remembers the song Wild Thing, well,
Yes.
that's it. When I was a little girl, they'll picture this. When I was a little girl, my mother would dress me and
Mhm.
she would do my hair, curl it, press it every morning. By
Mhm.
the time I got to school, they were calling me Skid Row. That was my name, Skid Row, because that's
Skid
what I looked like
Row.
by the time I got to school. That Skid Row is downtown where the homeless be.
Yes.
That's what I look like too. And every year that we take a picture, my mother would do my hair so pretty. And when she got her pictures back,
Wait.
Skid Row
Okay.
was the only person you saw. Huh?
So tell us your how many siblings do you have, and kind of break it down for us. Okay. Because first of
Okay.
all, I don't think people know the order of like my dad and his siblings.
Okay.
So let's give that, and then talk
Let's
about you and your siblings.
Okay, the genealogy.
Yes.
Yeah, the genealogy is Ali, J Dub, that's a male, just in case you don't know, J Dub, Dolly Mae, Celestine,
Mhm.
and Musa. Born with a different name, but Musa is his name.
Yes. So he was
So
the youngest. He was
that's their that's and their mother and father was Ida and Johnny.
yeah.
And they were. I didn't know my granddad. He passed away before. Before I was around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? No, there.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to. So now, yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't around for Grandpa Johnny, but Ida, I was,
Mm.
and she was a funny little thing. She was a funny little thing. The two, three times I saw her in my life.
Mhm.
Um, Once when I came through Texas, I came to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How old were you?
I was. Let's see, how old was I? I was in my late 20s when that time. But I saw her earlier than that when I was like, I'd say about 19.
Yeah.
And she came from Texas with her, the song The Pink Cadillac?
Yes.
She was riding in a pink Cadillac with her old boyfriend, and she was old herself. Let's let's say about 70s, 80s, somewhere in there. And she rode up here with her boyfriend
Mm.
in their pink Cadillac. And I never saw anything like that in my life, but it was a hoot. you know,
Oh my God.
it was a hoot, and
Yeah.
she was special. She was something, and she was wonderful. She was a wonderful old lady. My sister Jackie went to go stay with her when
Mhm.
she was young, right? When she was, oh, I guess, oh, about 13, 14.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, so they lived in Texas, but then in like in Big Spring, Texas.
yeah, Big Springs. Yeah, they were born in Sulphur Springs,
Hmm.
but they they lived in Big Springs.
Hmm.
And anyway, Jackie went to stay with Grandma Ida,
Hmm.
and lo and behold, there was a, what do they call those things? Tornado. It was a
Ah,
tornado coming through Texas,
okay.
and and Grandma Ida told all the kids to get down in the cellar, get down in that cellar right now. And she got down in the cellar. I mean, all of them got in the cellar, and Grandma Ida didn't. She
Hmm.
pulled the rocking chair on top of the cellar door and
Hmm.
sat on it and rocked. And my sister's banging on the door saying, Grandma, Grandma, get it down here, get down here.
Hmm.
And she sat there and she rocked and she told my sister, honey, if the Lord be taking me away, then here I am. And
Wow.
she decided that she, and this is when she wasn't afraid. She just sat there and rocked.
Yeah.
And it went over the house.
That.
It's like in the Bible where the Passover, it
Yeah.
passed over the house.
Wow.
Her beliefs got it. Okay. And that's what I believed because, it hit the houses around it.
Yes. Yes.
And it didn't hit hers. So it
Oh,
was a Passover.
wow. Wait, so
Yeah.
you talk about Jackie, but you have to describe all your siblings. And
Oh, girl. All right, let's go now. Get to my part.
yes.
I'm the youngest girl
Hmm.
out of the six. All the boys, and there were six. There were six kids. There was what I call Blackjack. She was my dad's twin. She was
Okay.
my daddy's twin. The Blackjack and Daddy were definitely twins. And she was as black as he was. It's real. She was dark, and everybody called it. I called her Blackjack. Then, and she is the oldest, born in 47.
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie was
You
born in
call Jackie Blackjack?
Blackjack. Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I always call her Blackjack. People would call it, her friends would call her that when we go to clubs, Blackjack. Hey. And they said, little Blackjack, Blackjack, little Blackjack.
Because she actually had a boyfriend named Black.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So Black and Black. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So Jackie was the eldest.
Yeah, Jackie, she was there. Then there was, let me see, Jeanette, who was like 17 months younger than Jackie.
Hmm.
And Jeanette was special. And I say it in two ways.
Hmm.
She had mental health problems.
Yeah.
Uh, she is what made me aware of mental health.
Hmm.
And it was strange because when she got ill, the doctor had, I kept telling my mom and everybody that she was sick, and
Yeah.
nobody believed me.
Hmm.
Nobody believed what I was saying.
Hmm.
And it turned out that the only person that could communicate with her was me.
Uh,
She would say things, and I understood what she was saying.
okay.
She would say things like, she'd call me on the phone and she'd say, Vicki, I have a bellyache. I
Hmm.
need a bellyache aspirin, which was something my son told my mama's sister. And the bellyache aspirin was she needed her medication,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And it was for her head,
Hmm.
but that's what she was selling me. She was letting me know that she needed some help. Her schizophrenia was going full blown at that time, and so she was letting me know that she was, you know, having an issue right then. and it sometimes it was sad. And my mom always told me, she said, you know what? When something funny is funny.
Yeah.
And so it was, and it would make me. I would let anybody else laugh, but I'm sorry. There were days that I just laid out, just I would be tickled. She would tickle me so bad with things she did,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. So
Yeah.
you picture this. All right, now I'm at my little bitty little tiny house, and I lived in Watts,
Hmm.
right? And I'm at home and I'm cooking.
Yeah.
I was cooking some spaghetti at the yeah, it's there's ground beef in the skillet. And my mom came over,
Hmm.
and she had something to do, and she needed somebody to watch Jeanette. Yeah. So of
Yeah.
course the doctor had told her that Vicky was the only person that could handle her.
Yeah.
So mom,
How old were you guys?
let me see. Jeanette was like 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. hmm And because schizophrenia hits you between the ages of uh, early 20s till mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
That's the range that it's normally, if you're gonna have it, it's gonna come out at those times. Okay, that's the time. That's the time. And it hit her. You
Mm-hmm.
as just the way it's hit.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so Mama left her with me because she had some things to do and she couldn't do them watching that.
Yeah.
So you picture this. I'm in there and I'm cooking the sauce and I'm stirring the sauce, and
Mm.
all of a sudden I hear this sound.
Well, what is that?
That's my hand smacking against my palm. But what it was a hatchet.
What?
Yeah, it was a hatchet.
Get out of town.
I
Oh
wasn't leaving town. She was. She anyway. So she's banging on this hatchet. I said, Jeanette, go sit down somewhere. And I'm kind of scared because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to kill her if in here.
my.
And I said, go sit down. I said, and
Yeah.
then she started laughing, and she was laughing,
Mm.
and I called my mom. I said, "Mommy, your daughter's in here. She done flipped the script." Yeah. And so anyway, here she is, and I'm going, where is she? Where is she?
Oh.
I hear, I see this shade or shadow go. You know how like you see something fly by, and
Yeah.
yeah, in a room, and you don't see it, but you see it, and
Yeah.
it. I'm going, what the heck is that,
Mm.
girl? My sister had got butt naked
Oh.
with a purple metal flake motorcycle helmet on her head. Right? And she was flying through my house doing statue poses.
Oh
Statue poses.
God. Oh
And
Lord.
I was screaming and laughing because mama told me if it's funny, it's funny. It's sad, but it's funny, And it was so funny. He was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And if I could just get up and do the whole act for you, I would, because it was hysterical. Girl, I could not stop laughing. And I had my mama laughing over the phone. She was saying, "Shut up, girl, stop lying." Mama, your daughter in here doing statue poses with a metal plate helmet on her head and nothing else. I mean, I was cracking up. I was laughing. you
Oh
know. But
God.
at the same time, this
Mm.
girl, Jeanette and I, I was elevated in school. Let me see, kindergarten to first grade,
Mhm.
and then fourth to the fifth, and seventh to the eighth.
You wait, you got pushed up a grade 3 times?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jeez, you're
Yeah.
smart.
Well, it seemed that the schools in LA were not capable of keeping up with my brain. You,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so it caused me a lot of problems because I couldn't find anything to keep me busy.
occupied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't have anybody in the family that could do this,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
could help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so because of that, a lot of things happened in my life that shouldn't have happened, and
Yeah.
if could have been better. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but anyway, so Jeanette, yeah, we were going to high school together,
Mm-hmm.
and she was the first commissioner of athletics for female. They never had a female
Mm-hmm.
commissioner of athletics, right?
Okay.
And Jeanette was. She was Miss Photogenic 3 times in a row. Yeah,
Wow.
because she was beautiful, big smile, big teeth, just like all us whites got. We
Yes.
have big smiley teeth.
Yes. Yes.
And so Jeanette, she had this big giant smile, beautiful smile.
Mm-hmm.
And then she could sing like a bird.
That's what my dad always said.
She could sing like a
Nat
bird.
had a beautiful singing voice. He
She
always
could,
said that.
she could sing her heart out.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad because she had got a recording contract with A&M Records
Mm.
under Herb Alpert, right?
Wow.
Uh, yeah, with let's see, the guy that did the girl
Which
from
business?
Ipanema, the girl,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
and she had got a recording, contract, and she was recording her first uh, album, and
Yeah,
she would always want me to come over and approve of it, because, like I said, it was me that she held on to. And
yeah,
so she said, Vicky, come listen, tell me what you think, tell me what you think.
yeah.
You And she did the first song, and they played it in England, in Europe first, and evidently it was very popular because we actually found it a couple of years back
Oh, you found it.
in Europe. When they were playing Odie the Goodies, and evidently it was one, you know.
Wow.
But that part was Jeanette recorded that she got to start playing here
Mm,
in L.A. And
yeah.
Jeanette was singing at a club, what we call the the Chitlin Circuit. She was singing in the Chitlin Circuit, and that's when Jeanette lost her mind.
Oh,
Yeah, on stage.
oh,
So that was the sad part
yeah.
because she was, ready to go fly, with wings, and I was so proud of her. And there it went. Her mind went.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, absolutely, totally paranoid, and she was extremely paranoid. She, she was extremely paranoid. I mean, very, very, very paranoid. And it was so sad. It was so sad to see
yeah.
her lose everything, just everything. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So that was it. Was funny and it was sad.
yeah.
Because she was absolutely a brilliant singer,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful singer.
And
And so,
she came up here in 2017. She and her son,
oh,
they drove
Marlene,
here.
oh my God.
And I don't know if it's her son's wife. I can't remember now because
He doesn't have a wife. Lucky, short, and heavy set, and real light skinned girl.
oh no, this
I
was
don't know,
the thin, skinny, brown skin.
little bitty thing.
No, I mean he was. my height, maybe a little bit. I'm 5'7". Maybe he was 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, that's her son. But the girl,
Oh yeah. Oh, you asked me who? Okay, was that who you describing the girl?
yeah.
Describing him. I was like,
That's
he
all right. We
probably
passed each
sounded
other.
like
We passed each other on the boat. Yeah. The boat went that way, Amina. It left you. Uh,
yes, yes, everything you said.
yeah.
That's the girl.
Anyway, yeah, it was some girl that was with her. You thought it was his wife.
I did.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
didn't have a wife. He never had.
maybe
Yeah,
he described her as something like my wife, my fiance, something. I don't know. But
yeah, but
I was like,
he never really had
we
one.
were clearing out dad's stuff, and
Mm,
Annette, she had asked for actually, some of just his things,
mm,
like uh actually I mean, just the dad had a bunch of like he had a studio apartment with
yeah,
like
I
20
know. I was there before. I
all
have been.
that stuff, what I
I've
mean?
been in that apartment before. It was.
Yes, it was a lot, But yeah, that was the last time I saw her because she came up,
Yeah,
you know, to say, and she got to say goodbye to dad too,
yeah, yeah.
which
That
was
was
nice.
good. I didn't. Well, I did, but I
She
didn't.
did because I called you and you
I
talked
know.
about
I said
it.
he did. I did, but I didn't. In other
Yeah,
words, I didn't get to see him, but I
yeah,
got to
yeah.
talk to him.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And that made me warm my heart. It warmed my heart to, be able to talk to him.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, to talk to him. Because I could feel him through the phone. I
yeah,
I did. I felt his spirit through the phone.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
That was a miracle too, and it was a blessing that you
it
did get.
really was. It was really really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you know, that memory I had of him telling me that uh, he would gladly come here,
Yeah,
be with my mom, you
yeah,
know, because he loved her. That was his sister. And,
yes, yes,
and I was like, wow. You know,
yeah,
really, I didn't know that he was that close to mommy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But then he had, when he went to Mecca, he had brought her back a Quran, a
mm,
beautiful big, because he knew my mother she knowledge is was something, because she was from the backwoods in the country. She
yeah,
didn't get to have that, backwoods. She didn't have. She wasn't able to go to college and all the things she wanted to do because she was smart. I had mommy's uh, report card. You know,
yeah.
she went to one of those one room schools from kindergarten to the 8th grade. I think there was one B in the whole report card
Wait,
from
where was she
kindergarten to the
from?
8th. Huh?
Where was she from?
From a place called Jackson Township, Ralston, Arkansas.
Okay.
Ralston, and her grandfather was from South Carolina. All right, you got me.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, in here. Hi.
Hi.
Better now.
I can see you better now because
I
I've been seeing.
sideways for me to do that.
You can hang up the phone.
I don't know why. Oh shoot.
Well, after we started talking, I think it's important to ask you this question
Okay.
because you talked about how your sister Jeanette had mental illness, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to. I know we kind of were laughing about some aspects of the funny things that happened, but how do you deal with and how did you deal with it and how did she deal with it? Like, was she diagnosed and then was able to receive
You
support
know,
and help?
um, She got sick, I think that must have been around 21, 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she hid it so well that no one knew she was ill but me.
Mm.
And I kept trying to tell them. I said, Mommy, she's she's got mental problems, right? And Mama said, No, she doesn't. I said, She does. And I tell Jeanette, Jackie, she wouldn't believe me. No
Mm.
one believed me. It was made me angry
Yeah.
because no one believed me.
Mm-hmm.
No one, I think, wanted to believe that she was ill.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I had got to the point, because she would only do weird things around me. Like
Oh, so she was able to control her illness.
at
And
at first, at
yeah.
first, and I mean, she could hide it better than anybody I know. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally, it went full blown. It just exploded.
Yeah. Yeah.
She uh, she ended up going outside with a mink coat on and nothing else in
Mm-hmm.
the middle of the street on 70th and Hoover, where Daddy used to live. And she was doing, the angel things you do in the snow.
Yeah.
But she was doing it in the hot sun on that hot ground with a mink coat on,
Mm.
right? And the police would call me,
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I mean, so I knew she wasn't telling anybody else. She told her to call me,
Okay.
call me. And then when I tell my mother, they was tell me, no, she isn't. To the point where I got really mad and I told her, you know what? When she finally hits, hits the button, I said, don't you guys call me. I said,
Yeah.
don't call me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have tried to tell you that nobody will help me.
Yeah.
Nobody
You
will help.
think your mom knew and she just didn't want to?
I,
Uh.
I think she knew.
Yeah.
Denial, total denial. Jackie, on the other hand, she would, Jackie, she wouldn't know a button. She sold it on clothes.
What?
Jackie wouldn't know a button if you sold it on the clothes. You know what I mean? She was like, she just didn't know anything. Like, what planet did you land on? And I would get so mad at her, and to the point,
Jackie, can I just say, like, I have very, because we lived with them.
yeah.
We lived with them when Dad first started law school.
Mhm.
We lived with her, and I remember she spanked me once.
Did she?
Yes, yes, and it was because she was throwing a party. I kind of think it was. I don't remember the purpose of the party. I don't know if this was one of those, because she used to have the viewing parties for, like, because she was the only person that had cable, so she would,
Ah,
viewing parties and people were coming over. But anyway, it was a big party that was supposed to be in the backyard, and
yeah.
at the time she had whipped cream, right? And she was like, it was a big thing of Cool Whip, and she said, don't eat this, don't touch this. I
And
just, as
you
soon as she said that, she laughed. She went to
and
the
you
store,
touched it.
and I couldn't resist. And I said, "Oh, it's Cool Whip. I'm gonna put Cool Whip on my orange juice."
Yes, she whooped you. She whooped you.
She whooped me good. She was like, and
Yeah,
actually, because I I put some Cool Whip, just a dollop.
yeah, that's
And
all
I
right.
was like, this is so
It didn't
disgusting.
have to matter to her. She told you don't do it.
I told you not to do it. And wait, what? Okay, what was Johnny's? Johnny was your brother too, right? He had a
Yeah,
sister, a girlfriend named Pookie or something.
Yogi.
Yogi, thank you.
I
And
know who you're talking about. I didn't like her at all. Now, she was to the point where my mother has never, ever gotten angry. I've
Mm,
never seen her angry at
mm,
anybody. Well,
mm.
once, but it was in a crazy. It was anyway. It was when I was little, but this girl had mama had a maid and she
Mm,
was sick. She her heart was
mm,
acted up. So Papa had got her a maid to clean her house because she couldn't walk up the stairs and vacuum and do all these things.
mm.
Okay. And Yogi went in my mother's bedroom and stole her gold pieces.
What?
And then she came back down. She was on crack. She was
Oh,
on crack.
mm,
And she accused the maid of doing it. It was a little Hispanic lady.
mm,
And
mm.
mama liked her. And she wouldn't come back because of them.
Oh.
And so at the same time, Jackie I was living somewhere. I wasn't at home.
Mm,
And I told Jackie to get, a check for Demi,
mm,
right? A welfare check. And she said, I can't get it. I said, why? Because Yogi had used my name
mm,
and
mm.
got a check in, in my name.
Wow.
And I got up and I told mom I'm getting ready to go beat her up. And mama said, yeah, baby, you get over there and you whoop her. You know, and she told me her juvie. Mama's never told me to go beat somebody up. Never. But she
Oh my
told me to
God.
go get
So I
her.
have to say, because I was, a child, like maybe 10 years old, and we were living with
Yeah.
Jackie. Yogi had a baby. I don't remember if it was a, boy or girl. It was like one or two. It was a young baby. And
Mm,
she sometimes would come over and watch us.
mm,
So and so this one particular day, I don't know what happened, but Yogi decided that she was gonna whoop me. And I had she had some incense that was like stuck in the doorway,
yeah.
and I was walking by and the incense got like the it was burning and it got caught in my like shoulder blade and started burning my
Oh,
shoulder blade. And I like went down and I was like, crying. But she thought I was crying because she was hitting me,
yeah.
right? I was crying
You
because the incense was right on my shoulder. And I turned around and because she was a very petite lady,
tiny little thing. Yeah.
even like I mean, I was a kid, but I don't even think she was bigger than me. So, and I was,
No, she wasn't. She was little.
I feel like I was like, this is supposed to hurt, and so I
Yeah.
turned because once I got the incense out, I stopped, start hurting. So I turned and I started laughing in her face, and she was she was so mad, right? But then she went to my dad
Oh,
and see, he didn't let anybody because he never whipped us.
right.
And I could count on one hand.
How many times you got a whooping?
Yeah, in my whole life. I mean, I feel like it might have been less than three. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
never had to do that because he would just be like, "I'm disappointed in you," and
Yeah.
I would just crumble.
That's the way it was with Felicia. Felicia
Yeah.
said, Mommy, I don't ever remember getting whooped. I said, I never whooped you. What
Mm,
for?
mm.
There was no reason to.
Yes, yes,
'Cause I
yes,
could talk to her, you know.
yes. So
And
okay, so we didn't. You were kind of going before, and you were talking about you got through Jackie and Jeanette, and then we
oh,
went off on the thing.
talking
So
about
siblings, but
but
I thought it
anyway,
was before. I was like, we have to talk about the mental illness
and
because
yeah, about the serious it really it's it can be heartbreaking.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
can be heartbreaking
yes, indeed,
because you know, even though she was sick, she could still make me mad because
Yeah.
sometimes have you ever heard of the it's a saying when a person is crazy like a fox.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
well that's Jeanette.
Mm.
See, because when she was young, she was crazy like a fox.
Yeah.
So and it would make me mad. So when
Because
she first got sick,
that's
I
your
didn't
sibling,
know.
and nobody believed you when, or what?
Yeah,
Why were you
because
mad?
she was. Sometimes I would think she was doing the crazy like a fox thing
Mm.
because her madness or her illness,
Mm-hmm.
she would one minute be normal. She would come and like when I told you about the helmet and stuff.
Yeah.
Mama came over there when she got there. Jeanette was sitting down talking to me like,
Yeah, like it was nothing. She put it
right,
back on and she was just chatting.
exactly. And
Wow.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm really gonna get you now.
Wow. Yeah.
And so and so it made me crazy. But and then here she did the angel in the street. They put her in Metropolitan, which is the mental illness place in Downey,
Yeah.
California. And they put her there. She was there like 3, 4 times.
Mm.
And uh she she would do weird stuff like on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
She knew it was my 32nd birthday. She
Yeah.
knew it was my 32nd birthday. She sent me a card, and in the card, she had something worth 30 cents taped in there
Hmm.
and something worth 2 cents.
Oh, that's cute.
And she said, Happy birthday. But this was part of the illness. See, and wait a minute, Mama had told her.
Wait, how is that bad? I don't understand
No,
that.
no it was because this is how she could say she couldn't come up with the happy birthday because it wasn't.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
yeah, it
She
wasn't
wasn't
there.
able to communicate that, so
But
she
it was
just
her communication to me.
got it.
Nobody else would have picked that up.
Yes, 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 yes.
Nobody would have picked that up that she was telling me happy birthday. Yeah, my 32nd
Okay.
birthday. Okay.
Okay,
So
because the card didn't say happy birthday. It just said it was somewhere 30 cents and so. Okay.
you see, she could do things like that. And then that's how the doctor knew that she could communicate with me and I understood.
Right, 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 right,
You
right.
know, I understood what she was saying to me. And
What about your dad? Like, did he recognize her illness?
no, no, yeah, he did. He said that.
He did.
He said all kinds of bad things. Damn girl, crazy, ain't she? Yes, daddy, she's crazy. But up until she died, she was because right before she died, we were talking a lot
Yeah.
and a lot of things that she had done, and because somehow, and I get this, now it's a chemical imbalance,
Yeah.
right? Okay, this is a chemical imbalance that happens to
Hmm.
Jeanette had 2 children,
Yeah.
okay, and she was sick.
Mm.
After she had the 2 children, she had 3 more. And each time she got pregnant, her mind got better and
Oh,
better and better.
yeah.
But see, there were things that I know that those orderlies in there must have done something sexually abusive to her because she would scream bloody murder if you told her you were taking her there.
Mm.
Yeah, and I know they must have done something to her.
Mm.
Because she would just scream and scream, no, you're not taking me there,
Yeah.
and so I knew something was going on. But she was, there was just so many things. She couldn't remember things that she had done.
Mm.
And, like she had done things to me. And she said, I didn't do that. No,
Mm.
I wouldn't do that. And
Yeah.
I said, yes, Jeanette, you did do that.
Mm.
And there's things times that she absolutely would not. remember that she had done this.
Yeah.
But I believe that she did know she did it, but did not want to.
But it's also sometimes too, depending on how long. I mean, sometimes you block out memories.
Well,
You
you know what I told my mother?
what?
Jeanette was so emotionally sensitive,
Yeah.
weak, what I call weak. She wasn't a strong person,
Hmm.
when it came to uh, life. She
And
was
see,
weak.
you were the youngest too, so then I mean the youngest girl, so that also might have also been hard for you because you're expecting your older sisters to be older, right?
But it wasn't true. I was mother, strongest, you know,
Yeah,
I was it. She knew that,
yeah,
if anybody would do it, Vicky would,
yeah, yeah,
and that was always it. She says, you're the strongest child I have. And I
yeah,
was like, I am. I
yeah,
am, and I couldn't understand why she didn't see. Yeah, Jeanette would lie on me. You know, she would break up Mama's dishes and tell her that I broke them because tomorrow was my day to do dishes, and she would make it sound sensible.
mm,
I broke the dishes because tomorrow's my day to do dishes, and I didn't want to do them, so I broke them up.
yes,
And this is what she would tell Mama, and Mama would believe her, and I would get a spanking. I mean, all these crazy things she would do,
yeah,
and, and it's just little wicked little things she would do,
mm,
and not realizing how much I loved her, and I was so proud of her as a human being, as a being the commissioner of athletics and all these different things. I was so proud of her.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the problem was is that her little friends. Here I am, a half a year behind her,
hmm.
and they would play with her, mess with her, and say,
Oh, because
"Yeah,
you were pushed along, you skipped grades,
right."
so then
And
you
they
kind
would and
of,
they would say, "Girl, why you so stupid and she's so smart?" And they would say it like that.
mm,
And she would do things to me
mm,
undercover, you know,
yeah, yeah,
because she was mad.
hmm,
And I wouldn't say anything to mom that she was trying, that she was hurting me, because
yeah,
she would hurt my feelings, and I would like, because for a long time I didn't talk to Jeanette because she would do little things to me that I shouldn't have been faulted for, and
yeah,
you know, she was angry
yeah.
at me,
So
where I am.
when you talk to her, like in the later part of her life, were you able to make like um
I
forgiveness
would
and
try. I would try, but she would tell me no, I didn't do that.
mm-hmm,
It was always a denial. I didn't do that. She,
mm-hmm,
yeah, she said, Vicky, why you say I did that? She said, I wouldn't hurt anybody. I wouldn't do that. But she would tell her kids that she was always fighting,
yeah,
when we were in school. But she wasn't. What she used to do was get into a fight with somebody and tell them that she was going to meet him at the school I went to. And
mm,
then she would run home. And I would be outside and I'd go, hi, how y'all doing? And they'd look at me crazy. I'd be like, what's going on? And they said, Jeanette tell us to meet her here because
mm,
we're supposed to fight, right? I'm supposed to fight with Jeanette against the other people.
mm.
Jeanette's gone home and left me scared to fight. This is what she's done. You understand? She would do
Yeah,
things like that.
yes,
So this is what I had to put up with all the time.
mm, mm,
I mean, constantly she did these kind of things to me,
yeah, yeah,
because she was mad at me for being the way I was.
yeah,
And it wasn't I loved learning. What did you want me to do?
right,
You
right.
what did you
I
want
mean,
from
but you also come from, your parent. Well, I mean, she had the same parents as you, but
yeah,
your
exactly.
like your parents, your dad. I mean, I just he was my favorite uncle. You
Daddy was he was
know,
something. He was
he
smart. He was
was.
crazy like a fox, and he was smart as a whip, as smart as Uncle Musa, but in his way.
Yeah.
In his way.
Yeah.
And you had to know, I mean, he could talk somebody out of a boat and
Yeah.
not give him a dime, and
Yeah.
then a place to moor it.
Yeah.
I'm like, phew, he would do all kinds of odd things that, you know, and then he wouldn't even discuss it, but he spoke Spanish as good as any Mexican.
Wow.
He sure did. And I was like, what? I didn't hear it come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because Dad actually came to California to live with Uncle Jimmy, and Uncle Jimmy got him like a job here and got him settled, and
yeah,
that
daddy
was
was like
big.
that. My stepdad, he got my stepdad his first job.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So
Uh,
wait, okay, so it's let's just go through it real quick. So it's Jackie,
but
Jeanette,
me,
Yulia, and then
then Johnny,
four sisters.
yeah, daddy's kids. On daddy's kids, it's I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Jackie, me, Debbie, and then Kathy.
Yes. So it's five girls because your dad had
Five
five
girls.
daughters, three by your mom and two by his second wife.
His
Okay.
third wife, because uh my brother Ali,
Hmm.
his mother was his first wife. Her name was Ruth.
Yes, Ruth. Yes. Okay. I
Okay.
found that in the census, and then you found each other just recently.
Yeah, he was over yesterday. You know why? Wait a minute. He called me 2 days in a row, and I hadn't answered the phone. You
Uh,
because I had been depressed.
mm,
Uh, my my niece, my little brother's daughter
mm.
hung herself.
Oh no, I'm
Yes,
so
she hung
sorry.
herself, 19 years old. Well, she
Oh,
was transgender.
oh,
She was transgender.
mm,
And uh,
oh.
she was Andrea, when she passed away. But her name was Andre when she was a little boy, and I used to call her Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead. I said, "Come here, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead." And she said, "Oh, Auntie," But she was, she came to live with me because
Mm,
uh, her mother's boyfriend used to punch him in the chest and stuff like that. Talking
yeah.
about he was gay and all this, and he was crying, and he came to stay with me.
Mm,
And he didn't want to tell me that he was gay. He enjoyed being with boys. Because I said, well, because I asked, I said, well, are you gay? And he said, oh no, auntie, no. But he was,
yeah.
and he was more than gay. He was transgender.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you should see him. I have pictures of him. Uh,
Mm,
Beautiful,
uh,
beautiful as a girl, beautiful as a girl. I
mm,
was like, oh my God, and I still don't know why she killed herself.
uh,
You chose a life,
yeah.
and no, and everybody accepted you that way. There were some that didn't, of course, you know,
Yeah.
but your family, I don't know which one said anything to say, but it certainly wasn't me, and it wasn't your mom. Your mom's boyfriend. She finally got rid of him because he was picking on her all the time. On Andrea all the time. Talking about act like a man, but he wasn't in his mind a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so how dare you? And she was sticking up for the boy and not for her child. You
Yeah.
know,
That's terrible.
yeah, and so she finally did,
Mm,
and they got close again, and that was good.
yeah.
And I don't know what it was. I think she left. She didn't tell anybody why she did what she did. All she said on the note was, "I knew you would try to stop me, so that's why I had you leave." when he did, because
Mm.
she came home and excuse me, and found Andrea hanging from a lemon tree
Oh my God.
outside in the backyard. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 1 second.
yeah. Say, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, Daddy had one son and five daughters. Yeah, and I think, and I could be wrong, that he had another daughter by this other lady, Hispanic lady.
Mm.
I'm not sure, but I think he did. You know,
You never met that child.
I met the lady, and
Oh,
she had a bunch of kids. But I don't know which one was or anything.
yeah. And then your mom had two more
She
sons.
had three boys after me,
Okay. And so what were their names?
so that was Johnny and then Billy. And Johnny was named Johnny White when
Okay.
he was born. You know, and I'm not sure if I know that in those days the law she had to name him White because she was still married to Daddy
Hmm.
when she was pregnant with him.
Hmm.
And of course, our granddaddy's name is Johnny,
Yes,
and
yes,
I have a feeling that he may have been
yes,
Daddy's child because he doesn't look like Daddy. He
yeah,
looks like my mother. He
yeah,
looks the image of my mother, and Daddy loved him like he was his son.
yeah, yeah,
Daddy loved
yeah.
him.
So I
Like,
mean, when I met Johnny, we I that when I talk about him, I always think of him as an uncle. Actually, you
yeah,
know, all of y'all were because
yeah,
my dad was like 20 years younger than your dad.
yeah.
So you all
But
like my mom's age.
right, yeah,
So so
So it
respect.
always it always seemed that it was like a cousin. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you guys were my cousin.
right,
You were
right.
like more cousin to my daughter.
I
Yeah,
remember I had contacted Jackie after, I don't know, so we found each other on social media or email or something. And I said, Aunt Jackie, she said, who said? She was like, do not be calling me Aunt Jackie. Who are you talking about? I am not your aunt.
she got her nerve.
Be respectful.
She got her nerve because Mama's family was so mixed up that
Yeah,
you know Asia called Jackie's daughter Mama
yeah.
when actually she's my little brother's daughter. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all this crazy stuff, and Mama's oldest sister's daughter is my cousin,
Hmm.
right? But she was my aunt,
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
know. So it was so mixed up. But then their family was anyway. When I how did you go on the census? It's just wackadoo. It is. I was on there the other day, and Mama's aunt, she had an aunt named Zenka, and
Mm,
they called her Zenka. Her name was Luzinka. That was her actual name,
yeah.
right? Okay, and so Zenka, uh, I'm looking, because Mama was saying, well, we don't, she don't remember a lot. It turned out that Aunt Zenka married a man named William Young.
Mm.
William Young was Mama's grandfather. I mean,
Oh,
William Young, his brother, his baby brother, was my mother's granddaddy. But she didn't
okay.
know that, you
Okay.
know. And it's like her brother's name was Davis Simpson. Davis, not David. David Simpson.
Hmm.
And she said, I don't know who he was named after. He was named after your mother's brother, mommy.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
because
Yeah.
and well, in those days they didn't talk all about everything, but that's what it was. And she didn't know that her mother was a twin, and she died before she knew.
Mm,
Before I could tell her that your mama was a twin. She had a twin brother named Lewis.
mm,
I wanted to. There were so many things I had found out, and I wanted to tell her. You
mm.
know, And so, you know, so when the family always calls me about Vicky, you know anything about so and so and so and so, and if I know it, I'll tell them. Say, yeah, so and so with so and so, and then so and so with so and so, and this makes so and so and that and that and that, you know, and I would tell them, try to explain who they were, you know, to you know how you're
Because
related to
you've
them.
done all of the genealogy records and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
wait, you ended, you said Johnny, and then Billy, and then who's the
and
youngest?
and then Andre, and that's the one the little boy, the little girl, the transgender girl that died was named after her grandfather, Andre.
Okay, Andre.
And he died uh, in Arkansas. He was murdered. He was gambling in Arkansas, and he won the money from the boys in Arkansas. And he went grocery shopping after he won. Went got to the house, opened the door, and the people had got in his house and waited for him to get in and blew his face off.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh God. This is
yeah.
the, how do you deal, like you just have so many stories of things that,
Yeah, then hey, oh, honey, I mean, I have them, and I'd be like, you know, I remember and I, you know what, when I was young, I used to see things or hear things, or you know, it would, I would see them, hear them, things like that, and Mama said they're a gift from God,
mm-hmm.
and you know, and I told her this, I said, well, Mommy, the things that I see
Yeah.
are usually like okay, like this one time, uh, I was over at my cousin's house, Nobi, right, and I was over there with Jackie, and you know I would be over there with her sometimes. Jackie was working from her house, so anyway, I would go home at night and I would start having a dream, and the dream was pitch dark and then nothing else. But I knew something told me it was going to be bad. The next night, it was pitch dark and people crying. The next night, it was dark, crying, and a light hanging down. Then the next night, it was a coffin, right? Pitch dark, crying, the light. I'm going, uh-oh, it's getting ready to be really bad. It was people standing up, walking past. And I
Mm,
tried to wake up, and
yeah.
I did,
Yeah.
and I fell back to sleep, and it stopped right where it had, right?
Mm,
And it took me to where I was walking past the coffin.
mm,
So the next night I'm fighting it, you know, I'm struggling with it because I don't want to see, I don't want to see, I don't want to see,
yeah.
you know. And the person was my mother, or
Mm,
so I thought,
yeah.
you know, because the dreams usually came true.
Uh-huh.
You know, they always did, you know.
Mhm.
And I was telling Jackie, I said, Jackie, call mommy, you know, because I dreamed she was in the coffin. She's dead. You
Mm,
know, Jackie and Obi, they said, because they all knew I would dream like that. You know,
yeah.
all of them knew I did. And so they called mama, and my stepdad said she's not home.
Mm.
She went over to Yay Louise's house. She had a heart attack in the bed and died.
Oh my
I
God.
forgot Aunt Louise looked just like mama.
Wow.
I had forgotten that they looked like twins.
Mm, mm, mm.
And so there it was. Then one time, I was, you know, I dreamed, you know, and it's always in sequence, like a movie. It's always like a movie.
Mhm.
And anyway, this one was a sequence of the playing. I was playing.
Mhm.
A little girl, I didn't know the little girl. Um, She was laughing,
Mm-hmm.
then she fell and she broke something. Only I didn't know what she had broke.
Yeah.
Right. And a year later, I saw this girl. She
And
lived next door. Her
what?
name was Sharon Green. 5 years old. Huh?
So
And
you
it
dreamt
ended up
about it. And then
her,
say again.
huh? She ended up falling and breaking her arm.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, this little girl that I dreamed of, there she was.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and then the one with my cousin, uh, Cora Steele, my Aunt Will's baby daughter.
Mm.
You know, I got out of the bed and I ran outside and I looked up to heaven and I started screaming, "She's gone, she's gone!" You know,
Yeah.
I was sleeping when I came to my cousin Terry, who was Cora Steele's sister, was parked in front of my house and she was crying.
Mm.
Cora Steele is gone.
Wow.
Someone killed her. You see,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama said, Vicki, you have a gift. That's
Yeah.
not a gift to always see bad things, Mama. I don't see that as a gift.
But it's like it's the sight. It's the sight. So
And
you're seeing it.
so I have the sight. I know that, but
Yeah.
to see nothing but negative.
But I don't. So like when people. Okay. So let me ask you this question, because you're seeing people before they pass away. But is that, does that have change your kind of idea of what death is? Like,
Oh,
you've dealt with and seen so
no,
many people. No?
no, it doesn't.
No.
No, because I don't see, you know, the the way that our black folks are taught to believe that that death is, you know, you go, you know, he's gonna come back and get you and all this stuff and take you to heaven, and I don't believe it. I don't believe in any of that.
No.
No, I'm afraid not. You know, archaeologists go and they dig up somebody's bones and stuff. You
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And scientific things say no. What now? Why? You know, why would it be this way? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
So like you believe that when people die, that's it.
there you go.
That's it. That's over.
That's it. That's all. You
So,
know
but then do you think that perhaps it's preparing you for that then?
what?
Like seeing it ahead of time?
What is it preparing me for
Like,
that?
yeah, so it's like you see it, so then like when it happens, it's not as, well,
It's not. It. Well, you know, death is just that. You know what goes on is people are
mhm,
frightened of the unknown.
right, right.
They're frightened of the unknown. And
Yeah,
I don't see it as unknown. There is nothing there.
yeah, yeah,
You know, there is no unknown. There's nothing there.
yeah,
You know, when we leave, we leave. You
yeah,
know, what you do here is what matters.
right, right.
It's what you do here is what matters, and how you do it is what matters.
Mhm. So
Not what you think you're doing, and it's gonna be there. You know, you're gonna have a little gifts and stuff when you
right.
leave. No, no.
Yeah, like, so I also believe that what you do here matters, but I also believe in the afterlife, you know.
Mhm.
But I do know a lot of people don't. And so I think so I guess the question then becomes, and if does that mean that you miss the people more because you believe like, okay, they died and you don't think you're gonna see them ever again?
You know, I know I'm not. You know, and it's just forever. You know, it's where that's what's sad. You know, see, I miss my mother.
Yeah.
I miss my mom, and I know that's it.
Yeah.
I'll never see her again. That's what I miss. Yeah, it's not death that I miss, that I'm trying to have. It's
Yeah.
not seeing my people anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. So
Yeah,
like all those people that you love, that's why it hurts you so bad to see it
it's
because
painful
you feel like you're never gonna see them again. Mm.
because there it is. It's over with. It's over with. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that is so painful. Oh God, is it?
So then in terms of forgiveness for like people like, like your Jeanette and stuff, were you able to come to that where you forgave her or not?
It you know what? I saw that her belief in God.
Hmm.
I'll put it like this: her God, the God of her made her understanding,
Yeah.
made sure that she was put in a state of mind
Hmm.
where she didn't have to live with the poison that she ex- expounded on people because
God.
she did. You know, she was poisonous, extremely poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I couldn't even tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, because like Mama told me, Jeanette was weak, and she was mentally weak. And so, if she had to believe that she had done half the things she did, she would lose her mind, or she would kill herself because she could not have handled the issues of knowing that she was a horrible person. She was a very vicious little person. She was. And, you know, I couldn't believe it because I loved her so, you know.
Yeah.
And I saw her for what and who she was. And you know, and when I would talk to her, try and talk to her about what she was like and what she had done. And she'd look at me and say, I never did that. I never did that. How can you
So do
say
you think that possible that she was the things that she did was because of her illness?
I think, no,
No, you don't think that?
you
Like,
know, with the things she did before, see, the illness started happening between her 20s and her 30s.
yeah.
Okay. A lot of things she did, and most of them were before the fact.
Mm,
But if she had to face them for what she really was like, it would destroy her. I think it would destroy her to know that she was that wicked because she didn't want to believe that she was wicked, you know. And she was a very wicked kid, you know, and you know, she was what she was. But she goes and you know, it's like Mama said, well, she's still your sister, you know, and that's true. She's still my sister.
and you accepted her and you loved her despite the fact
It
that.
took me years to do that. It took me years to accept her. You
Mhm.
know, it took me years to accept her for you know because she did so many bad things to other people too.
Yeah.
You know, to other people, and it was shameful, and I was shamed by it. You
Yeah.
know, and so it was hard. It was hard.
So
So
then,
you,
so then let
I,
me ask you this question about the acceptance part, because are you how do you do that? Like what helped you to accept her or like accept people for just who they are, even if they do things that are bad or evil?
sometimes I don't.
Oh,
Sometimes no.
okay.
Sometimes I can't.
Hmm.
You know, my mama used to say, "Baby, if you hold on to it, it's gonna make you sicker and sicker." You
Yeah.
know, and it does. But there are times that I just absolutely cannot let it go. It is, you know, it is. awful. What they've done is so awful
Yeah. Yeah.
that I cannot live with it.
Yeah.
Things that I know they've done, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it because, like Jeanette, Jeanette, I need you to say you're sorry,
Yeah.
but I didn't do it.
Hmm.
So you see, it's I can't do that. I couldn't do it with her.
Yeah.
But when my mother was dying, she said, Vicki, you know that Jeanette is sick.
Hmm.
Take care of her.
Right. So you took care of her
So
because
yeah,
you,
so I did what Mama told me to do. Take care of
that's
her.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, that's the crazy part too, because it's like an obligation that is your sister. But I think, sometimes it's very hard, and I think this conversation is an important conversation, especially because we're talking about like, you know,
right,
uh, all these important concepts like life and death and mental illness.
yeah,
But, I wonder about the, relationships with people that, who have done bad things, and you just get like, if you can't forgive them, you just get like end the relationship with them.
I did. Yeah, Jeanette. I didn't talk to her for about 12 years.
Wow.
About 12 years. I moved to Ohio. I lived in Ohio 12 years.
Oh, you know what?
I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't do it.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
I didn't want her telling me because I'm the kind of person that if you've done something to me, I have to tell you about it. And
Yeah.
the kind of person that would be in denial. I,
Yeah.
I never did that,
Hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
I always fought my own battles. And I'd look at you and say, "You never fought a battle in your life, Jeanette. You
Yeah.
always run home." You know, and left me to fight your battles. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you see, and so instead of me having to listen to her tell a lie, I
Yeah.
just don't talk to you. I won't
Wow.
talk to you. You know.
Yeah, I see that. So, but then, wow.
Yeah, I can't deal
But I mean, I think
with
it's
lies.
okay. So let me say this. I don't know, like you tell me what you think about it, but I do think because when you and I started speaking again, when my dad was sick, you and she were back in contact with each other. And I felt from what my conversations always with you is that you always, as you said, looked out for her,
All my
accepted
life.
her. So I think that in some ways it was like you, you still treated her like a sister and like you were her big sister, and you were still taking care of her, and you understood her limitations as a
I,
person.
I had, it's because she was dying. Jeanette
Uh,
was dying at the time, and
mhm.
that
See, I
allowed me to
didn't know
let
she was
go.
dying until she died. I did
Yeah,
not know when she came
yeah,
out here. I did
she
not
was
know,
dying.
and it's so because we were, we had spoken a few times. She had reached out to me on Facebook. She
Yeah,
came out here, and like I said, she said goodbye to dad and stuff.
she wanted
And
to see
and
before she
then
quit.
it was just like a turnaround trip because she spent the night. She stayed in dad's apartment. I took her to visit him in the nursing home, and then they left.
Yes, she wanted
Um,
to say goodbye
mhm.
before she left too.
And I mean, he was talking to her, and he remembered, like he knew, because it was also that time in his life where he couldn't, his memory was not the best in terms of his capacity to even communicate memories. But I think
Right.
it tapped into something for him, and he was like, Jeanette, like, he remembered like like she could sing and stuff, and he was talking to her about it, and he didn't want
Mm,
her to leave.
ah,
He did not want her to leave. And he was really like brightened up seeing her.
yeah,
So
because
he,
if he asked you to sing, you would have sang.
Yes, 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 yes. And I had we were friends on Facebook, and then she unfriended me, and then some time passed, and I hadn't communicated with her, and then she friended me. She emailed me or friended me, or I don't remember. But anyway, it was like she friended me again, so I friended her, and then the next thing I know, she died,
But
and it
that
was like
was why
really out the
she
blue.
didn't unfriend you. She was dying, and she wasn't. She was lost in
Uh,
space, kind
uh,
of. And
uh,
that was kind of lost in space. It really was. It
mhm,
was. It was. Jeanette. Let's see. She had cervical cancer.
mm.
Um,
Cause she smoked like a lot. She was a smoker. Even
I'm
you,
the smoker,
you're a
but
smoker too. See?
I'm the biggest smoker. But Jeanette, no, Jeanette smoked, but she would smoke maybe 3, 4 cigarettes.
I mean, well, see, we don't smoke, so when I was blown away because I'm never around anybody that smokes cigarettes at all.
Yeah,
So
but
I was like,
Jeanette just stopped smoking, and then she would smoke, and then she would stop, and then she would smoke. She was
mm,
back and forth. But Jeanette had cervical cancer first, and she made the 5 year mark,
mm,
and it ended up her she started feeling bad, and she went, and she was in L.A.
mhm,
and she ended up in a hospital downtown LA.
mm,
And uh, they said she had swollen lymph nodes,
mm,
right?
mm.
So something was coming back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And she kept saying, "There's nothing there," blah blah blah. And finally, she came in, and this is see, and here's part of the mental illness again.
Mhm.
Vicki, I said, "What?" She said, "You know what?" I said, "What?" She said, "Girl, I got fertilizer in my brain."
Mm.
I said, "What?" She said, "I got fertilizer in my brain." She
Wow.
was telling me that she smelled urine.
Ah, ah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
From
And that's so, yeah, that's tough. And see, what I wonder about is if it's because like Black people, like we don't we don't really deal with mental illness well as a community, and as in terms of like helping people, and like what you're talking about the denial of it, it doesn't work. So did
that's
she
good.
ever get help like during her life? Did she ever get treated?
Yeah, that was she went. I took her. I said, "Come on, we went down there." Kaiser told her that she had it. That she had kidney cancer. They gave her chemotherapy. Her hair all came out. She cried about her hair. She was crying over her hair.
Mm,
I said, "Yeah, don't worry about them hair. Don't worry about your hair." Yeah,
yeah.
I said it's gonna grow back anyway. And it did.
Mhm.
And then she went up and stayed with her oldest daughter in Louisiana,
Mm,
and the hospital in Louisiana told her that she wasn't sick.
mm,
And I said, "Well, they tell her that, Jeanette dying from cancer. She's got kidney cancer.
mm.
And they said they didn't see anything,
Ah,
you know, but that's where she died in the same hospital, that told her that she didn't have anything,
mm,
you know.
mm.
Uh, so it was like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Because she lived in denial about the cancer. She did. She lived in straight denial about the cancer. She just didn't handle it well. She would grab the Bible and she said, that's between God and me. That's between God and me. I said, "You're right. It is. It's between God and you." Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was sad because Mama had told me, "Take care of Jeanette.
Yeah.
Take care of Jeanette. She's sick." You know. I said, "I know, Mama. I know." And I cried because she would keep doing things and going here and doing this and not and wouldn't tell the truth about it. You know, again, there she went. She would tell the truth.
And I'm going to ask you a couple more questions
Okay.
to kind of bring back to, because I think we, you know, first of all,
Got a lot more to go through.
we do, because we just, I feel like we have to do this as a, well, let's just,
Parts.
no,
Parts.
yeah, a couple parts. But okay, because when I first, it's so funny because I think I text you and I was like, I want to interview you. And you
Yeah.
were like, why? And I was like, for my podcast. And that was in the summer. And we have
Right.
literally been trying to
To
do,
make this happen.
you know, so it's, now that it's happening, I think one of the things that I would love to hear from you is more about my dad, because I don't, from your perspective of being his niece and the memories that you have of him,
Uh,
I think that would be great.
about the things that when I lived in San Francisco
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He's something special. He
yeah,
was. He was. You know, he was. He was different than. I used to irritate him, though he never got irritated because it was hard for me to call him Musa because
mm,
he'd been my Uncle Gwenny for so long.
mhm,
He had been my Uncle Gwenny for a long time. And finally, he ended up showing me the birth certificate.
ah,
That's when I started calling him. But he didn't get mad. He was very patient. He said, you know, no, Vicki is no longer Gwendale. I said, okay. I said, all right, Uncle Gwenny. But he said, he had told me, he said, out of all of Jean's children, you understand better than anybody about, you know, um, religious things, spiritual, because I don't know why. It's because I like to learn. That's basically what happened. That's more than anything. And I think that's what pleased him most, because he didn't mind talking to me
yeah,
about things, and I you know, he squeezed what's in his brain out
yeah,
because it was so phenomenal. It was so much in there,
yeah,
it was so much in there. And he always, and I think that he always tried to make sure I was okay because I was mama's baby.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
he loved my mom like she was his real sister.
yeah, yes,
That's basically what, for real, that's what I always believed.
yeah,
That was why he took care of me the way he did.
yeah,
I was in San Francisco because of mama,
hmm,
because he loved my mom,
yeah,
you know. you know.
yes. So wait, so you have two children?
I have three.
Have children.
I
Okay.
have two boys and a girl.
Okay. And do you have grandkids?
I have, come on, let's see. Felicia has one girl, two boys.
Mhm.
She's my oldest child.
Okay.
That's my 51-year-old. Then
Yeah.
I have a son that's giving me the blues.
Mhm.
He's he he doesn't stick to his belief, even though he believes in the Quran and he's Muslim. That's what he wanted,
Yeah.
and but he has issues that have literally destroyed me. And it's very sad.
Yeah.
But that's something we have to do a long talk with,
Yeah.
because it's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. Anyway, he's got, let's see, uh, a boy and a boy. He's the kind that if girlfriend, he had a girlfriend that was raped,
Mm.
and she got pregnant,
Oh.
and the little girl he's claimed her always as his.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
because
sorry.
he's one of those kind of, he was a little boy. He was always that kind of person. He
Yeah.
accepted the child as his own. Yeah.
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 And then your youngest son, does he have children?
And then the baby, he just turned 34 on the 24th,
Mm.
and he's got a set of twins, the two girls. One's got sickle cell anemia,
Ah.
and a little baby girl. Well, she's not a baby. She's 9.
Mm-hmm.
My little chunko,
Yeah.
and I got AJ. Oh my God, AJ. Hi, Jenkins is, oh, honey, he's something.
Mm.
He's something and then more. you know,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't appreciate the way you talk to me, Daddy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
he just turned 5.
So wait, and so I guess the question I have for you is, how do you want your family, how do you want them to remember you?
As a person with a lot of laughter in their heart,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of laughter, and what most of them like is that I talk to them. I talk to them. I don't. Yeah, I talk to them. I talk to them about anything and everything. And whatever they ask me, I'm gonna answer it.
Mhm.
And not to a point where it's offensive, but
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk. I want them to know that grandmother was always there for them.
Yeah.
Granny was always there and loved them dearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. So who's been your biggest teacher? Like, who in the family has been your biggest teacher? And share
Mhm.
something that taught you that you will never forget.
Wait a minute. Let's back that one up. Who that I considered my biggest teacher in
Yeah.
my family?
Yes.
My mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother. It's you know, Genovia. She was something. She was something special. She really was. She she was something special.
Aunt Jean. And she lived in was it Carson City?
Yeah, Carson. Not Carson City, Carson. Because
Carson.
Carson City
Carson,
is Las Vegas, but Nevada. You know.
okay, Carson, California. Okay.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yep. And Mama, she was a really, really wonderful person. Didn't smoke, cuss, none of it.
Mm,
You know. But she smoked cigarettes when she was younger.
yeah.
But she didn't. She stopped smoking all of a sudden. But she was never, ever said a bad word about anybody.
Mm.
Never, never. She was just really, really special.
So can
My
you share something she taught you that you'll never forget?
Is it? She's always. Wait a minute. Let me see. Well, I'm forgetful. Yeah. You know what? And I think I live by that too. She said, when you have a child with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
she said, don't you ever feed that child negative things about that person.
Mm.
Don't you ever say anything bad about that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not for you to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for them to learn for
Mm.
themselves what they need to know
Yeah. Yeah.
about that person.
Yes.
And she said, you never say bad things about somebody's, father or mother. You
Yeah.
just don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's true. You don't do that because I watch our black women do that often,
Oh, yes. Yes.
and then you see how the children turn out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you want? If there's one thing that you want everyone to kind of know about what it means to be, let's say, just to be you, to be Vicki,
Now
what
what happened?
I said, what share with us what you want everybody to know what about you? Like, what do you want everybody? One thing that you want everybody to know about you?
Ah, that what I really want to know about me is that I rarely take any guff from anybody.
I know that's right. You know, as a kid, I was scared of you.
I don't take nothing from nobody. That's it. You can't do that. You can't, you
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
can't talk to me any kind of way. You can't do it,
Yeah.
And I don't like you don't have to lie to me,
Yeah.
because I'm nobody. I'm just another person. But
Right.
when you have to lie to me, then I know.
Yeah. But I
But
think it's too that you're a person that commands respect, and I think people might sometimes they might just lie because they don't want to disappoint you. Not that that's a good thing.
yeah, it's not.
It's not. But I appreciate you saying like don't
Yeah,
but you're not nobody. You're
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. I'm just another person.
But you're Vicki Cosby Jefferson.
That's exactly right. What? No, what they used to say when I was little. Which one are you today, Vicky or Victoria?
Hmm.
Because I'm coming at you. You know, don't do that. Don't my kids.
Yes. Yes.
Because like I told my oldest son, I tell him, Damon, you don't have to lie to mine ever.
Yeah.
You can tell me anything,
Hmm.
you know, and I will tell you if I'm disappointed about it or hurt, but I'm not gonna spank you for it or anything like that. I'm just gonna tell you that I'm disappointed, or whatever. But if you lie to me, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a hard one. I can't stand that either.
Yeah, it's like,
Like let
no,
people.
no, forget it. I tell them, no, no, no,
Hmm.
wrong, and that's where we'll get in with that particular son.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We're gonna
yeah,
have a part two
mm,
conversation. All right.
yeah.
Well, then let's do this. That we're going to. I want to end on a high note and a positive note, and so we're
Uh,
again with thank or end by thanking you for just having this conversation and the honesty. And I feel like a lot of what you talked about is very difficult and painful things, but you showed us and you talked to us about how to address it, and how you dealt with it and how you learned with from it, and that's all anybody can do, you know
yeah,
so I thank you.
yeah. I mean, because I didn't get to have to say all the things about the fun things that your dad, when I lived in San Francisco, and he would always come by and, got to talk about him some more because, about the time I tried to burn the house down.
What?
Tried to burn my apartment down, and he had to come get me.
Okay, can you want to tell that story before we end?
No, you're not gonna get that one. It's a good one because he had to come get me. The firemen and the police were had to, I think they called him or the people next door, but I'm not telling you that one. It's a good one because he was so calm about
Oh my god. I
it.
I think yeah, he never yeah, he just had
He
a different
never mentioned it, did he?
no, he never said this. Yeah, he could keep secrets.
Yeah.
For
Uh-huh.
sure,
Yep.
he
Yep.
could hold his
I lived right off of the what was that thing called? The little right the Golden Gate. The little thing.
The
I
Golden
live
Gate Bridge,
uh, no, not by the bridge, by
Golden Gate Park,
yeah,
Panhandle.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, but yeah, yeah, yeah. He used to come by the house and leave me $20 every morning.
Oh wow.
$20 every morning because I liked porterhouse steaks and spinach. I was pregnant. That was my my pregnant fetish,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's what he would get it for me. He'd give me a $20 bill so I could go buy it.
Wait, you were pregnant with Felicia at the time?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh
Mhm.
wow.
But
Okay.
I'm not. But you got to get to hear the story about the
Yeah.
burning down the house. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was a good one. It was a very good year.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Oh,
definitely
Vicki,
a
you
very
are
good
just
year.
I
Uh,
I have to say too that part of what really helped me through losing dad was our conversations too, and talking to you when he was sick. Um it was really really, and I know because it was hard, it was
I don't know how you put up with that. I don't know how you handle that. You know, it's hard to do. You know,
well, yeah, I mean, I think that for me it was more so that I still, like I never lost, like, obviously I had never lost a parent before. And then dad and I was always a daddy's girl.
yeah,
So, so that was, hard. But I
it was a
also,
great thing.
you know, I had like I did, I internalized a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
know.
a lot and I didn't, I'm just now like,
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you,
It's in 3 years.
you, yeah, you're starting to handle it. You're
Right. 'Cause it
breathing.
was like, I just kind of like, oh, I'll keep busy,
I
but
did the same thing with
you know what I
about
mean?
mommy.
Because it didn't, I didn't, it was so weird. And I know this might not even make sense, but honestly, when dad first died, I felt like, am I an orphan now? Like, I didn't know what it meant to not have
To
my
have a parent leave you.
right. You know what I'm saying? And then like when I would talk to people about it, it was almost like they like, oh yeah, like kind of like everybody dies, so people didn't really get, it's like, yeah, people die, but this is my dad dying, this is different.
It's not, yeah, it's different because it's my day.
Right, right,
My
exactly.
day. Yeah, when my mom, what she say, she said, Vicky, hurry up and go down to the different cemetery. I mean, mortuaries, blah blah blah. She had me doing everything.
Mm,
Go finding, the mortuary, and this is what I want to wear, and this is what I want you to play, and and I don't want you to cry.
mm.
You know how hard that is.
Yes, yeah, that's a
It,
tough
I
thing.
could not cry. She didn't want me to cry, and so I had to hold them up high.
Yeah,
And I had to, pancreatic cancer is not an easy thing to die from.
no,
And mommy did. She did it with
yeah.
she did it so smooth. Everybody kept saying, "I wish I was mom."
Mm,
You see how she's handling this cancer. Pancreatic cancer is the most painful cancer you can die.
mm,
The
mhm.
most painful.
Yeah.
And mommy, she say, oh, I think I need a little bit of medicine today.
Mm.
Yeah, just the way I said it. And I would get it and I'd get a little bit of morphine, maybe 5 milliliters.
Mhm.
And she said, and she wouldn't let anybody give her any but me. She said, because Vicky knows what she's doing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's what, and I would give her just, and I would give her a little bit. And I said, "Is that enough for you?" She said, "Yeah, that's enough. Thank you." And that was it. She only took it twice, all
Wow.
the time, only twice, you know. And
Wow.
but she didn't want me to cry. And so
Mm.
I didn't get, I never got to cry.
You didn't, you, after she passed, did you cry?
I haven't cried yet.
Oh, how long ago did
And 2007. And it's the most painful thing in the world to have that inside of me like that. Internalized is not the word, honey.
Yes.
It is so in there
Mm-hmm.
because, and all I can do is talk to her sometimes. I miss you,
Yeah.
man. I miss you.
Yeah.
And I do. I miss her and I might laugh or think about something she done, she did, you know,
Yeah. It's
and
such a
I
beautiful,
wish that it wasn't true
yeah.
that this is it and that's all. You know, I wish I always tell her that I wish it wasn't that way.
So can I ask you a question? Because it almost seems like from everything that you're saying, almost every single thing that your mom told you, you follow to the T. Like, right? You believed it and you did it and you
I
did
tried.
everything she said. So what did she tell you about when she died? Like, or like what happens next?
No, she never talked about that.
You never talked about it. Like you
She
guys never talked
no,
about
she never. She didn't even. She wouldn't even tell anybody she was dying.
it. Oh, okay.
The doctor told her we everybody heard him talking to her, whispering in the corner, telling
Mm-hmm.
her that you know it was in her near her kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
It had already spread. It was right.
Yeah.
And we all jumped and said da da da. And he said, "Oh no, that was a mistake because Mama had told him don't you say a word."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was in November of 2006.
Mm.
And then the beginning of 2007, February, she got, she was ready. It was time, right?
Yeah.
And he had told her, you know, whatever he told her. I said, okay, mommy, let's stop playing. I said, what, how much time you got?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said, oh, well, either I have 2 weeks, or 2 months, or 2 years, depending on how well you take care of me. And I started laughing. It's all right, smart, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I said, okay, so that's when I knew it was gonna be so, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because that's just the way she said it.
Mm.
And I didn't even want to go to Brian. I mean, Brian was going to Hawaii for his birthday, and
Mm.
she said, "Don't worry, I'll be here. I promise you, I'll be here when you get back. So go, go." And we did, and she was.
Yeah.
And then she said, that was Brian's birthday was April 24th. We got back uh, beginning of May, and you know, I told her, nice time we had fun, blah blah blah, you know. And then, that second week in May, she said, "It's time to go."
Wow.
That's all she said was, "It's time to go."
Mm.
You know, and she died. It was on Mother's Day. Mother's Day was Brian and my anniversary.
So you were
May
married on Mother's Day and
is
you,
married May 10th. It was
wow.
the anniversary and Mother's Day, the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, she
Mm.
said, "Yep, it's time to go."
Wow.
And she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did just that. She left. She went and Jackie and her son was in there. They said, "Vicky, Vicky, come here. You don't see you." I'm like, "What?" They said, "She did." I'm like,
Mm.
they're standing there with her. She's taking her breath, and they're gonna ask me if she did. And I'm like, "Boy, I got them. I got the deuces." I'm going. What? Let me see. Let me check it out. I took her pulse. I kissed her on the forehead and I brushed her hair down and I rubbed my nose against hers and I said, I'll see you later, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, because they didn't want again they needed you to say it because they didn't want it to be true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that, I know. It's Vicky will do it. Let
right?
Vicky do it. You know,
And then for
it's
you,
always what I
what
used to do.
you
Let
gonna?
Vicky do it.
How do you? I mean, and I don't know. So are you just holding that, like or do you expect to ever be able to release like that
Am I
pain?
ever going to be able to grieve?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't because it's way too far now.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I can talk about it and
yeah,
to myself.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but grieve no, because I've waited so long to grieve about it. You
Mm-hmm.
know? Yeah, it makes me mad because I want to cry like everybody else got to cry, and I can't.
Yeah, yeah. But that anger is a phase of grief, and then you saw acceptance is another one.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, and
That's
so
true.
it sounds like you just accepted it.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? And also figured out how you could still, like you said, you still talk to her and stuff.
yeah,
You know, so it feels like she's still with you, if you can
yeah.
say that.
She's always with me. You know, so,
That's a beautiful thing.
yeah. I think we're going to. I've got just this one to stop because I've got to tell you later on about the burning bed and your dad. And
Okay. All right. Everybody, Onion Voices family, we're gonna have another episode with my cousin Vicky. We have
to
to
be
follow up with
continued, you guys.
we continue, and in that one, we're gonna learn more about the burning bed. All right, all right. Let's end here.
Oh God, the burning bed.